On a recent trip into and out of the Cancun airport, I decided to take you along with me. Because I get so many questions on my website, mixedinmexico.com, with regards to this particular airport, I thought I'd record the arrival and departure process for you so that you can see exactly when and where certain sections are in this particular airport, as well as what the recent changes are and what to expect. Firstly, let me just say, flying into Cancun is so beautiful. If you're sitting on the right side of the plane, as you arrive over the city, you will see beautiful teals and aqua blues as the ocean meets the land. It truly is a magical sight. I would encourage you to look out the window and take in the views if you can. It's definitely my favorite part of the journey. Then you land. When you first exit the plane, you go through the jet bridge, and depending on what side of the terminal you come in through, you will either head to the right or to the left. I was flying in through United, which uses Terminal 3 for this flight, so I turned left upon exiting the plane. You can almost instantly feel the humidity in the air, especially if you're coming from a particularly dry or cold place. Once you get to the end of the hallway, you'll take an escalator down to the first level where you'll be greeted by a large open area. To the right will be the line for the tourists and visa holders. Towards the center will be for Mexican nationals, both citizens and residents of Mexico. And to the left, you will see the e-gates for tourists with an electronic or e-passport. You'll know if you have an e-passport because your passport will have this symbol on the front. Lines usually go a lot quicker on this side because many people either don't know about the e-gates, don't know if they can use them, or simply don't know how to use them. If you want more information on the e-gates, check out this video here. Right now, the e-gates are for tourists visiting with passports from the US, Canada, and the UK. If you're watching this video in the future, they may have expanded the passports that they accept, but for right now, it's the United States, Canada, and the UK. These e-gates are not for those who require a visa to enter Mexico, nor are they for any of you who may be coming to complete step 2 of the residency process. I obviously couldn't record this area in depth because of legal reasons, so let's skip ahead a bit as I go through the nationals line. Once you get through customs, you will turn right. If you have pets, you'll pass by the inspection area here over to the left, as well as a few other offices for individuals who require further questioning. Dun dun dun. But if you have no pets and everything is all peachy, you can proceed to head straight out past the duty-free towards the baggage claim area. If you didn't hear before you exited the plane which carousel your bags will be delivered on, they will be displayed on the screens above each carousel. Let me tell you now, baggage will take forever and a day. Hopefully you'll be pleasantly surprised by a fast turnaround though. While you wait, there's a bathroom on both opposite ends of the baggage claim area. One when you first enter by the duty-free area over to the right, and another at the far end of the baggage claim area. The left here is an exit, which we'll go out of once we get our bags. My tip, especially if you really have to go to the bathroom, is just to make the trip to the further bathroom. Most people aren't aware of it, or they just don't want to walk that far. So they stand in the longer line at the first bathroom they see. Once you've cleared customs, emptied your bladder, gathered your bags and your families, you're one step closer to margaritas on the beach. The one thing that may cause a delay is these guys right here. You'll soon see him telling me to turn off my camera. Like this video if you appreciate me risking my life for you guys. But while we're here, I'll point out to the right here are the inspection rooms where they'll make sure you're not bringing in anything illegal or of high value into the country. They seem to be stopping a lot of people nowadays for no real rhyme or reason. So don't be offended if they ask you to stop or step to the side. You didn't do anything wrong. It's more than likely just random, unless you actually look suspicious. So that you're aware, the limit of how much value you can bring into the country is between $300 to $500 US, in excess of your personal belongings, of course. And it depends on what time of the year you travel, whether it's closer to the $300 mark or the $500 mark. If you have something that looks like it could cost more than the legal limit, I would say have screenshots ready of receipts or Amazon screenshots of the equivalent price in US dollars. It may save you some time. I'll also leave a link below the official page where you can find the legal limit in case you need to put up a small fight. But generally speaking, they're quite pleasant though. If they do find you over the established monetary limit, they will ask you to go over to the SAT counter on the left side right before you exit to pay any taxes that they may see due. Once you make it past there, you go through the double doors of what I would call fire and fury. I didn't bother to record because this was an extremely late flight that I was arriving on and the salespersons had already gone home for the night. But if you haven't pre-arranged a ride with family, friends, or your accommodations, be prepared to be heckled at. If you have arranged a personal ride from family or friends, you exit stage left right after entering the outside air. If you're renting a car, most rental car companies will have a shuttle that will take you directly to their office from the airport and provide you clear instructions on how to get to the shuttle once you exit the airport. The rental car companies that are within the actual airport premises are these here. And these are a few rental companies that are close by. If you're looking for the most affordable way to get to the center of Cancun, you'll see a few bus company kiosks right outside that area. My unsolicited recommendation, if you haven't arranged any transportation and you're looking for a cheap way to get into the city, it will be ADO. They charge a flat 130 Mexican pesos from the airport to the city center and leave about every 25 to 30 minutes. You can even buy your tickets ahead of time if that'll give you peace of mind. If Uber is your preferred taxi app of choice, I would definitely admonish you to be cautious. Uber has not been the most popular app in Cancun in past nor present, and depending on when you watch this video, they may not be operating in Cancun. Also, another word of warning, they now have an official holding this sign up as you leave to go to the personal pickup spot, warning you about potential taxi scams and the need to exercise caution and not to just give your credit card away. I don't know if you've heard, but there was a recent scam at the airport where a taxi guy charged an individual over $1,000 on his credit card just to transfer him from one terminal to the next terminal in the airport when there's a free shuttle. I'm glad to say that they found that driver and have arrested him since, but there's still a need to be cautious. I'll leave a link to that story below if you're interested in seeing it, because it was wild. On a positive note, that is your last barrier to entry, and you are now hopefully on your way to a cold beverage on the beach with warm sand and beautiful waves at your feet. Subscribe to the channel if you want to stay tuned for things to do in Cancun. I plan on making a few videos of the most popular tourist attractions there. Hit the bell notification if you don't want to miss that. If Cancun isn't your final destination and you want to go further north or south, you may be interested in getting there by the new Mayan train. I'll put a link up here for a video that might be helpful. My husband and I recently took it to Merida and it was wonderful. Now it's time to leave Cancun. Aww. I hope you enjoyed your stay wherever that took you. The road to the airport is now fairly smooth as it's been recently renovated. It took us less than 30 minutes to get to the airport. There are 3 terminals you can fly into and out of at this airport. If you're leaving from Terminal 2, these are the airlines that service that terminal. A few that stand out being Alaska Airlines, Viva Aerobus, and Volaris. If you're leaving from Terminal 3, these are the airlines that service that terminal. And a few that stand out being American Airlines, Air Canada, United, Delta, and Spirit. And if you're leaving from Terminal 4, here are the airlines that service that terminal as well. A few standing out being Aeromexico, Frontier, JetBlue, and Southwest. Today, my early flight will be departing from Terminal 3 via United. Once you arrive at the terminal and enter in through the doors, you'll be greeted by a whole host of airline check-in counters. They usually open the check-in counter about 3 to 4 hours before departure if you're checking in a bag or if you need a physical printout of your boarding pass. If you got there early enough and you have your boarding pass and are just waiting for the check-in counter to open, there's a lounge here to the right, cleverly called the lounge for those of you with qualifying memberships. If you just want a coffee fix, there's also a Starbucks here, which is pre-security while you wait. There's also an I&M office checkpoint down here for those of you who are residents and may need to check out. But no need to worry, there's another lounge, I&M office, and 2 Starbucks on the 2nd level once you get past security. If you are exiting on an international flight as a resident of Mexico from Terminal 4, there's only one I&M office there, and it is before security only. It is right to the right of the escalators before going up to the 2nd level for security screening. If you blink, you might miss it. Also, there are 3 lounges in that terminal, all after security. One called the Lounge by Gate 54, and 2 called VIP Lounge, one by Gate 53, and the other by Gate 67A. Back to Terminal 3. Once you get your boarding pass and have your bags all checked in, you can head up the escalators to the security screening. You will not have to take your shoes off for this security screening. I'll pause the recording here, for obvious reasons of course, but I'll mention that sometimes here you'll see individuals telling you to make sure you pay the Cancun tax fee before you leave. Now this is just crazy to me because most all airlines will charge you a Mexico tourism tax automatically coming into the country. But apparently this is something separate, specifically for the state of Quintana Roo, which is 271 Mexican pesos. If you want to pay it, I'll leave the official government link below. All you do is put in your departure date and specify the number of passengers you're paying for, and then proceed to enter their names and passport info before confirming and paying. Once you pay, they will give you a QR code as proof of payment or inform you that your payment has been linked with your prospective passports. If you have any questions about the process or need further clarification on a matter, feel free to reach out to me at mixedinmexico.com. What's crazy is Cancun Airport has their own separate landing page, which charges $20 and 99 cents for the tax, which is almost $10 more than if you use the other government's website and pay in pesos. The only difference with the Cancun Airport's website, in addition to the higher price, is that they also ask for your email and a phone number, I believe. I'll leave that link for you down below as well for you to decide which link to use. And I've heard mixed reviews on this tax. Some people pay it, some people don't, some people honestly forget, and none have been asked to verify that they've actually paid it. Nor have I heard of anyone being asked to present the QR code at the time of departure, nor along any stage in the departure. As a resident of Mexico, I am exempt from this tax, so I've never personally paid it since its inception. Moving right along. Once you make it past security, you'll be immersed into the duty-free area. Roam as you wish. Once you exit, straight ahead of you, and if you head to the right, you will see a Los Cinco Soles tienda. It's such a vibrant and well-decorated store, and they're open during most odd hours of the day and night, so it's an excellent place to get some last-minute souvenirs and memorabilia. Continuing on to the right, nestled between gate C17 and the convenience store up ahead, you'll find another lounge in this terminal called the VIP Lounge. And heading straight out of the lounge to your right, you will find gates C20 through C26. Turning around, heading back to where we entered, you will see more shops and restaurants and stands. But if you head left out of the duty-free shop now, next to a few other shops, you will see what used to be the second I&M office checkpoint in this terminal. It has since moved by gate 5, which I'll show you in a bit. Straight ahead, you will see one of 2 more Starbucks in this terminal. And because it's such an early flight, this is one of the few places that you'll actually see open at this time. Continuing on to the left, you will see many other food options in stores, most of which were closed at this time because it was so early. But there's quite a selection, going all the way down to Guy Fieri's Kitchen and Bar, right across from gate C9. Now down this way, you will find gates C0 all the way to C8. And all the way at the end of this terminal, next to gate C4, you will find that other, less busy, might I add, Starbucks. This Starbucks is probably busy because it's further and a lot of people typically don't know about it. So if you want a cup of coffee and don't want the long lines, take the walk. Down here at this end, you will also find the newest post-security I&M office checkpoint, right across from gate C5. This will be especially noteworthy for those of you who are residents and need to check out before leaving the country. Don't forget to subscribe for more. Safe travels. Hasta pronto, friends. See you soon. Nos vemos.